Terry here with Sail to Utopia, and we are selling Majestic, our 1975 Morgan 414, who was initially used as an Annapolis Navy ROTC training vessel, and she's passed through a couple of hands, and then to us after Hurricane Irma. We have gone through all the gutted interior, all the damaged exterior, and these Morgans have such great bones. She is a shining example, I think, of what Charlie Morgan would have wanted from his boats. So I'm going to give you a walk-through tour of all the things that we've done and how beautiful she is. You can get in touch with us at sail.utopia.gmail.com or hit us up through this video and we will try and message you back as quickly as we see any messages. Cheers. Here's the tour. Jack is my little photobomb dog. He lives with us on our boat, and he's just here for the tour. We're going to start on the outside. Majestic's entire outside and inside have been redone and restored. She's had fresh paint on her hull and top sides, fresh non-skid, all done in the less than a year. She has a shrimper style roller. It's kind of a combination of a captain's anchor. It has a movable shaft in the middle, 3 pointed prongs, and this baby does not drag. It rolls if it moves and rolls. There's 150 feet of 3/8 chain with a Simpson Lawrence Sea Tiger windlass to crank it up. The road on the other side is another 200 feet, and that's how we rock. She has double forestays, which was the style back in the day. All of her standing rigging is in excellent shape. It was checked for cracks before we sailed from Marathon to Puerto Rico in January. She has new Sailrite Sombrella marine canvas in marine blue for her foredeck bag. She has a 120 Jenny as a sweeper for her head sail. There's another smaller storm sail that we will give you also, and we'll move along. All of her stanchions have been replaced. The bow stanchion was off another boat, salvaged from the same time period boat, and it's chrome-plated bronze. She has new running lights. Her anchor light, which you cannot see now, is a solar charged, it comes on at dark, goes off in the daylight. We opted to do the extra lower blue stripe just to give her a little distinction. New bottom paint was applied last May. The port lights, when we got the boat, were all plexi, sealed and screwed on. We've taken them all off, replaced any damaged ones, and then re-bedded and re-screwed them. Starting again from the bow, you can see we've repainted the tow rails. The rub rails are all in good shape all the way around. Chain plates all in good shape. I'll show you them. We have new teak safety hand grips. Original hatch painted white on the outside with the deck paint, and on the inside it's the fiberglass that just allows a little bit of ambient light through. There's the hatch for the forward head, and the hatch under the box is more of a air vent skylight. It was just the original one was destroyed in the hurricane, and we rebuilt that. And then we added a gearbox on top to supply some of our gear. We're surfers, so we have surfboards, but they're coming with us. This is for the waist for the forward head. All the deck fills are new for diesel, water, and the other aft head waist. We'll just slowly walk around here. Chain plates. The cabin is covered with a hardtop that we built. We added a Dodger with a zip down center panel that rolls up and has straps. There are 200 watts of solar panels by 2 on top of the hardtop, and it makes a good storage place for fishing rods, deck brushes, other brushes and vents. We also have new sail packs made out of the same blue umbrella that matches for the main and the mizzen. New lazy jack setup on both. As we go into the cockpit, there's a vent for the engine room and an air conditioner here, and another wind scoop here that cools the engine room. The wires all go directly to the charge controller, which is connected to our house bank of 6-volt batteries in series that total 880 amps of battery storage. This is a little port light plexi that we replaced over the aft head. So our running rigging all replaced as we redid the boat, so it's all in good shape. We added a portable air conditioner with a wind scoop vent, so we don't have to remove it every time we go out, and it's secured. It keeps the aft cabin quite cool for sleeping. We added also the Atlantic Towers Tower in a Box sail arch. We initially put 3 100-watt solar panels on her tower, and that worked pretty well till we had extra people on board. So we added the other 2 for a total of 700 watts of solar. There's a magma grill with a fiberglass propane tank so we don't have rust dripping. Our Atlantic Tower comes with the dinghy davits with an extension tube so that our 12-foot inflatable here can come up and be cross-tied and then not bounce against the boat and be high enough to avoid seas. There's the solar panels from underneath. Not tall enough to show you the top, really. I guess I can hold this up there. Solar panels. We added a fold-down entry ladder and padded the steps with some nice rope, which we saw in a magazine. Works great because it's really easy for your feet to grip when you're coming up the ladder. We added another storage box on the back for life jackets, dive gear, line, anything else you might need as you travel and you don't want to have thrown around. Added a parquet raised flooring just to keep your feet from sloshing in any water. There's a scupper forward and a scupper in the aft corner, and they're all out to through hulls. We have 2 storage areas, as with all Morgans. There's one in this cockpit seat and then one under the helm seat. And our binnacle we keep covered when we're not using it. Shore power is a new connection 30 amp service and 50-foot 30 amp cord, all in good condition. The original slide aft hatches where the teak was worn on the sides and we couldn't figure out how to replace it. We went ahead and made this hinge opening hatch with these dolphin grips. We made starboard doors to replace the broken teak doors. Get out of the way. My little photo bomber. We have a Garmin 541S maps that has nav charts for multiple areas, and rather than replace it with something we had to buy charts for, we opted to keep it. It brought us all the way from Florida to Puerto Rico, and it's in great working shape. We have a Constellation compass, which works well, seated in a teak ring. The pride and joy of this is, of course, our CPT Autopilot. The Autopilot is belt driven, even though we have hyanotic, which is a form of hydraulic steering, and she can take some seas. But this one worked in 6 to 8 foot seas on a beam reach or on a run, and did great. There's a little cup to hold your phone. There's a little cup holder on either side for extra cups. There's the teak control panel cover. We use the little folding stadium type seats. We have several of them. 2 of them will fit on the box forward as a seat forward. The other 2 move around. They can all be moved around, and you can keep them or we'll keep them, doesn't matter. This is a large space up in the cockpit area for seating. You can sleep up there if you're on an overnight, all kinds of comfortable things. We added a net for life jackets so that they're handy at sea. And we also, on this 75 model, this was originally a folding door that leaked constantly. So we fused it and added spring hinges on either side so that the hatch door will pop up and pretty much stay up all the time. And we added these cool little dolphin cleat handles to open and close them. Lift it up, there's the springs. And we also have the starboard doors, replacing the broken teak doors. And I just want to show you that these are the lift-off hinges. So when you're underway, you can take these little doors and store them someplace. We usually put them downstairs on one of the bunks or settees. Stairway, we have a little portable air conditioner in the front. And the first thing you see is the brightly colored wall coverings that we did to replace the old Morgan wallpaper. There's the Nav Station, the galley area, an Ingle fridge freezer, 64 quarts, and the dining room. I also wanted to show you that on either side of the cockpit are these little teardrop shaped port lights. And they look opaque-ish, but inside they let just a little bit of light in. Photobombed again. They do sell a hatch that fits that thing, but they're about $700 a piece. It was constructed and designed in part by an aluminum welder in Marathon, Florida. He built us 4 legs that are tapered with starboard underneath to keep the angle right. And then it's marine grade plywood, reinforced and supported. Really nice shade. Provided really nice protection during our trip. As we come inside the main salon, there's the inside of the hatch, inside of the doors. You see there's a teak hand grip on either side, which is very convenient in rough seas. And then the original teak stairs have been oiled and cleaned, and they're quite lovely. As we're going low, I'll show you, we replaced the what was left of the cabin sole was mostly plywood when we got the boat. On our other boat, we used this laminate flooring, and this is like a washed oak floor color, and we really liked it. This is the Nav Station with a pull-out seat. You just lift up and it twists out with a padded cushion. And the Nav Station has a shelf for you to add an extra radio if you want an extra radio, or whatever you want to do. There's more controls for the 12 volt. The anchor light is an always on one, so that doesn't really apply. That was the old anchor light. Running lights are here, cabin lights, the VHF radio. We'll turn on so I can show you, and then other auxiliaries. There is room in here for your charts, books, stuff, the autopilot information, etc. The galley was completely gutted when we bought the boat. There's a little bit of glare from the light of that hatch. That's the inside light that you get from those plexi covers on the port lights. That would have been difficult to reach to open and close anyway. There's plenty of storage room on top with a fiddle that they designed out of the plexi. There's a couple little working drawers here. The the storage inside. He has dishes and some spices in here. Plenty of room if you wanted to put a shelf up there to store more stuff. The oven. On shore power or on the inverter, we use a New Wave hot plate for our cooking surface. We also have a New Wave oven that stores neatly on the shelf for baking any kind of baked products. When at sea, we have an Origo 3000 two-burner cooktop, alcohol stove. It's safer and better to use at sea, we think. More storage for more products, food, spices. Our microwave works on the inverter, and we have a storage box that we built on either side for this, paper towels, etc. The Ingalls 64-quart ice chest was a really economical way to add refrigeration where there wasn't any. And we couldn't decide when we did this rebuild to do a regular stove or a regular ice box. It has a freezer side, which we just have some cold drinks in, and then a food side. The baskets lift out. The door slides off if you want to clean it, and then slides back in with the pins and the hinges. And it has a thermostatic control in centigrade that we have on a low temperature now because nobody's on the boat. But this has been an excellent model Ingle. The sink for more storage, because everybody's wife wants to know about the storage. We have marine lift-out drawers for whatever tools and things you want to put in it. 2 more drawers. It took 2 hands, but that opens, and more storage there. Under the sink, probably jammed with stuff. There's a lot of storage space here. We put hooks on the cabinets so that when we're at sea, they don't come flying open, and stuff come out since they don't have the lock on them. And then this storage under the ice chest we made for pots and pans. This is an area where if you didn't like the Ingle, people have a refrigerator ice box built in here, and that could easily be done because this is a wide open space. You have the forward mainmast right here in the middle. We had some leaks initially, but we made a system of, it's actually a foam pool noodle, and then a rubberized sealant used for mobile homes to seal their roofs. It's softish, flexible, doesn't leak or goo, and it doesn't let any water come in down this mast. That's probably what ruined the floor initially. This is the nice ambient light you get from that hatch that we made. It's got a plexi covering, a hinge spring for if that box ever comes off and you want to just open this up. There you go. Added all the cushions to the boat. The little storage shelf was in the boat just somewhere. We just put it there and have some musical instruments on it. Those are the other port lights. I'll try and get out of the glaring light for you. On the side, if you can see, we have the white trim strips around them to frame them in. We made some extra cushions. This is the original Formica Tabletop. We were going to do a pour over on it, but when we cleaned it, it looked up so nice, we decided not to bother. It has a little storage in the middle for whatever kind of stuff you want to put in there. We did replace the collapsible legs so that these legs, with the twist of that black knob on either side, will drop down below this subfloor area, and then the table lines up with this fiddle, and this becomes a double bed. Actually, we put a queen size air mattress on it. If you put your head at the aft end and just let your legs be this way, it kind of almost bumps up against the mast, but it's a perfect queen size bed. If you put a smaller mattress on it, if you just have one person sleeping there, or we've had people just sleep along the settee in rough seas. We have a new selection switch. Everything is new. The inverter on-off switch, the 12-volt DC panel, and everything is labeled correctly. And the AC panel with the 120. There's no stove. Some of it was pre-labeled, but everything that's labeled we did and added. And your gauges. So I'll take this opportunity to tell you that all of the electrical wiring was replaced with straight shots from the outlets to the breakers. So everything from forward to aft has been completely rewired. All of the old wires that you see on other boats, the old junk wire that people leave, has all been ripped out, and all fresh, brand new tinned wire has been attached to everything. Our electrical system has been flawless. We have 12-volt chargers in the forward head, as well as a 110 outlet, 12-volt fan, and an LED light. We added LED lights into the ceiling where there were wires, and we added some wires where there weren't. So there's LED lights here and there in the main salon. So you have plenty of light to move around if you're cruising after hours. Added a mini charging station here. This is just a countertop surface behind the settee. There's two 12-volt outlets. One of them is for USB plugs when you're on 12 volt. The other is just a cigarette lighter plug. Sorry, I'm short. Works great if you have a plug. And then when you're on 110, there are two USB ports here as well as two 110 plugs. All behind this settee is storage that goes from the cushion back and from the top down. And underneath each of these seats is also storage. At one point we thought we would put a marine air conditioner in, and there's plenty of room under this seat to put a marine air conditioner. Matter of fact, we got this portable while we were working on the boat and put a vent here so that we could run the marine air conditioner vent out. There's another storage drawer here with a hook, of course, to keep it empty. We have a latch on, and it's a nice little cabinet right here behind the settee. You could use it for whatever storage you like, but we opted to make it our garbage area. We store some extra bottles of vinegar and extra bags in there. And now we're going to go forward. So we'll go all the way up front to the V berth. There's our matron mermaid hanging out behind in front of the anchor locker, where all the anchor chains and things are. This was the double bunk system with the desk and drawers, and we ripped that all out, what was left of it, and made a single. This is a Cali King mattress and king size sheets over it. We put a shelf on one side. This is part of the shelf that was the other bed. There's storage in there that a good amount of stuff could fit in. Sun darkening shades. Those are the brand new Sani hoses for the forward head. This is the hatch I showed you was painted on the outside, and it has just that ambient glow of light coming in. And another sun darkening shade. 12-volt Camfro fans. Without the cage, they have soft rubber blades, so even if you touched it, it stops and doesn't hurt you. 2-speed, really cools it down. There's a LED light, a 12-volt charger here, and a 110 outlet. There's a large closet here forward. Doors slide open this way, so sliding doors on tracks, they can be lifted up and out. There's a shelf here, and our vent tubing is on that shelf. There's the hull ID. 570-515, net ton 14. Some of the new wiring that we ran through to that charging station. has a 2-door system to allow privacy to the forward bunk. One door closes off the main cabin, has a slide bolt. The other door, if you choose, closes off the forward bed with a slide bolt on the inside, so you can't lock somebody in there. We've redone the entire bathroom. We added also, starting at the top, an LED 2-light light. The 12 volts fans that are 2-speed. That feels good. There's another plexi handle there that was darkened so that people wouldn't be looking in the bathroom if you were at the dock. A lovely shelf with dry deck on it, just in case any moisture would come in, or condensation. Your things on the shelf will stay dry. We have a lovely teak towel bar with 2 rolls on it. There's another vent from the forward cabin above the microwave to this bathroom. I put 2 cute little hooks in because we have lots of guests, and then there's a couple more hooks above the door. A teak handlebar to hang on to for security. We replaced the electric toilet that was here with a Jabsco twist and flush, which goes to a 30-gallon holding tank that lives under the V-berth. So this is all new. This cabinet door under the sink lifts on legs in the old-fashioned style. It takes me 2 hands to do it, so I'm not going to open that. And then there's another cabinet there that you could actually put a hinge on if you wanted to, but it lifts and comes off, and there's space behind there. We try and economically use our little grocery bags as waste bags. And in redoing this, I just try and be artsy and artistic and fun, but I wanted to reuse everything we could. So this is the original round stainless steel sink, which is in great shape. I added a new faucet with a pull-out so that you can stand here and shower yourself off, and then it just feeds back in. Comes on, plenty of water. And then to be fun and cute, I painted these little baby turtles coming out of the nest of the bowl. And in the dark, if you've had the lights on and then you shut the lights off, you'll see fluorescent glow around the turtles that makes them look like they're swimming towards that blue fluorescing water. So it's pretty cool at night. I can't show you in the daytime, sorry. This bathroom cabinet also has plenty of storage. These boats all have plenty of storage, either side. Artistic touch, and there's that teardrop shape skylight that's been removed, rebedded, rescrewed, and does not leak. This is our walk-through to the aft cabin. To the right is the water tank, which we took the original water tank and ground it out, filled a leak, and then coated it with a rubberized food-grade sealant. So we have clean, fresh water in that tank that's delicious to drink. That was done less than a year ago, and it's been maintained and kept up. We put peroxide in the tank when we fill it to eat any kind of biologic that might be in the water that we're adding. There's another shifting switch for batteries, solar, inverter, all. And then the engine room lives behind that door. There is another large hanging closet here. I forgot to tell you that other closet has a hanging bar. A few things left from Isaac. He'll come get them when we sell the boat, or we'll pack them up. But it's a huge hanging closet. We are still going to do some work to retrim these windows. The old plastic rings around them broke, so we have to fix that. The floors here go all the way through. This is the shape of the hull, so you have to sit down. This is considered a queen size mattress, and we're still doing some work here. We did put in the LED lights here, as well as a 12-volt fan on either side. Closets, they're deep in there with sliding doors. We use the pegboard for the doors so that it has air flowing through to reduce any kind of mold issues. There's the inside air conditioner up there. There's a handrail in the back to help you twist around in bed. There's a shelf above, an air vent and a shelf there. We replaced this port light with a screened in one, so it's opening, so you have air circulation here in the aft cabin when you're not running your AC. This one was existing and in good shape. It doesn't have a screen, but you probably could make one if you wanted. I don't put screens on mine on our boat. Another cabinet equal to the one on the other side, another 12-volt fan, another LED light, a teak bookshelf, magazine rack. There's a whole area that you could do something there and build something in if you wanted to. Isaac's a big fisherman, so he has a lot of fishing supplies. There's a drawer under there, a drawer here, and a space for storage under there. Aft head. Also completely redone. New sink, new faucet, original countertop. We were going to do a pour over on it and make it pretty like the one up front, but we just haven't gotten around to that yet. We closed in the old cabinet area with cedar, so that really helps aromify the bathroom, because bathrooms are an issue. And then we made a new pegboard cabinet doors. And again, there's tons of storage back in this cabinet. This also is a new twist and flush head. Beautiful, clean holding tank. And this one is back behind this panel. And it is a 24-gallon holding tank. It's a plastic plexi box. This cabinet is to the engine room and the bilge area. Bilges are quite dry. Jay was going to make this a cabinet sealed off from the engine room, but we haven't done that yet. And then I just got together some dry deck panels that I'm going to put another flooring in here. This is the teak stairs for the aft part of the cockpit, and those outside doors that I showed you. Another teak handrail and VHF radio. Brand new right before our last trip. There is a light switch here in the corner and a string of little LED lights to show you around the engine room. This is an old boat, and we have done a ton of work and ripped out a ton of stuff. The old fuel tank, which was leaking, is back behind that fuel tank. We gutted it out and made it as our secure battery storage for our house bank of batteries. There are 4 golf cart batteries in there that are 220 amp hours each, so 880 amp hours total gives you 440 amp hours that you can use at any one time. The inverter is 3,500 watts continuous, 7,000 startup, and works great for that microwave or the new wave system. This is that vent I told you that we use for that air conditioner, the engine overflow. There's the freshwater pump, some of the electrical wiring, battery charger for when we need it. The exhaust system is connected to a Vernalift muffler, which exhausts out the back of the boat. We don't know why that winch was put there. It's like a trailer winch, maybe when they took the old generator out. Don't know, but we just left it. All new wiring harness here. This is our Raycor fuel filter. Our fuel tank is a brand new 35-gallon fuel tank. We burnt less than 35 gallons coming from Marathon to Cabo Rojo, Puerto Rico, which is an almost 1,200-mile trip. It was upwind into the east, most of it, but we sailed and tacked and had a great time and burnt very little fuel. The Raycor fuel filter is clean and regularly changed. This is our Perkins 4108 that's been rebuilt. It has a new alternator, a new starter, a new water pump. The transmission was completely, or the injector pump was completely rebuilt. The transmission is a velvet drive, which was gone through, resealed, checked out. It didn't need to be rebuilt. It just hadn't run for so long. We took it to a transmission person and they were like, nope, we just put new seals in and it doesn't leak. The engine has all new heavy duty stainless hose clamps on all the new hoses. There are new belts everywhere. We have new fuel filters. Let's see, and the hyanotics. Our steering is the old Morgan hyanotic system. We use a bicycle pump attached here to pump it up to the right pressure. And then those are the cells that tell you how much fluid is in it. It takes automatic transmission fluid. You can use the airplane Phillips 66 fluid or any automatic transmission fluid. Lots of people will tell you different things. We have new drain hoses on our scuppers. And generally a dry bilge. There are new bilge pumps forward and aft. The auto and manual switches work. If you can see down there and see how dry all that is. We like the dry bilge. She has been running great since we redid everything. Everything that could be taken out, the injectors were rebuilt. Oh, no, rebuilt or replaced? We have so many boats, I'm getting confused. They were either rebuilt or replaced by Everglades Diesel in Fort Lauderdale. And they also did the injector pump. So lots of references to give you. She has all new motor mounts from when we redid the engine. The old motor mounts were cracked and bad, so she has new engine motor mounts all the way around. She has a new prop. The shaft rolled and tested fine. The new cutlass bearing was put in. New. Everything's new. So there's our little switch up here for our lights. Boom. Redid the water tank. All the plumbing through the boat, from the forward head to the galley to the aft head to the water tank, was all replaced. The water pump is new. Everything in this boat is new except her old hull, which is her good bones, and her masts, which are her good bones. Charlie Morgan did a great job on those kinds of things. We've tried to do everything we could to make the boat functional, simple, and easy to use. Jay's been a contractor 90% of his life, and prior to being a contractor, he worked at Hatteras Yachts and built yachts. So he knows the attention to detail it takes to make things work. His choice in life is to have things simple and neat, and to do things ourselves as much as we could. Everywhere there was something technical, like mainly the engine work, we hired a diesel mechanic who either did the work or directed Jay how to do the work. So we're quite pleased with that. Majestic, with her Perkins 4108 and all the work that we've done on the transmission and the running gear, her 51 to 53 RPMs the engine's rated for, allows her to go faster than our Morgan 416 with a Perkins 4154 rated at 63 RPMs. We're actually motoring head-to-head slower. We probably are a little heavier because we have all my belongings on it, and this boat is packed pretty light right now. but still we were so impressed when the work was done how this boat performs. She backs much better than our other boat. Morgans are typically known as fat bottom girls, and reverse is their worst gear and position. I mean, the motor runs, but you have to have enough water running across that barn door rudder to get steering going, and it's just really tough, especially if there's any wind. Now, these boats don't have a really high windage. The cockpit combing is not high like some boats, but it's higher than something smaller. You have to have a certain size boat to take the seas. But she made the trip from Florida to Puerto Rico beautifully, not a hitch. If you have any questions, please call us. If you have any things you'd like to know about, email me, sail, S-A-I-L, utopia, U-T-O-P-I-A, at gmail.com. I'll write it out in the description. Our first video on this was a lot of clips and just stashed together with some tunes and some words. But I wanted to go through for you 1,800 some people who looked at that, and we've had a dozen responses. Everyone gets a lot of looky-loos. We started asking $54,900. Our price is now $49,999, and we are motivated to sell. Anyway, this is a great buy for somebody who maybe is not real mechanical, doesn't want to do a lot of work, and just wants to bring their groceries. We even have a full fuel tank right now. So bring your groceries, fill the water tank up, and go. Everything is ready to roll. If you would like this boat back to Florida or back to North Carolina or back to somewhere, let us know. Jay and I have both done multiple deliveries. We are both 100-ton U.S. Coast Guard licensed captains, as is Isaac, who ran the boat from Florida to Cabo Rojo, all captains, all working for other people as captains, and we are totally happy to negotiate with you, helping you deliver the boat and helping you learn her systems, her inner workings, etc. Our offer to anybody is, come to Puerto Rico, see the boat, fly into Mayaguez Airport. We'll pick you up. You and a +1 can stay on the boat for 2 nights. Make us an offer that we accept, and we will take a sea trial and seal the deal. You can be in and out of this boat in less than a week. We have the title in hand. She is U.S. Coast Guard documented. All we have to do is sign it over to you. So, free and clear from us can be free and clear to you, and we are totally willing to stay in touch with you and help you in any way we can make this be a successful transition. So please, we're not giving it away, but we are happy to help you get this great boat. Our dock slip space here in Puerto Rico is less than $400 a month. It was $360 last month with no air conditioning running. We've had air conditioning on while Jay's doing work here on and off, so we'll wait and see. But even with air conditioning on our other Morgan 41, the power bill was only $6 for the month. So it was $360 something for our total month's slip and power. So this is a great deal as well if you want to continue cruising in the Caribbean. Puerto Rico, some people still don't know, is an American territory, soon to be a state. The residents of Puerto Rico voted 54 to 46 for statehood this time. It's the first time they've had a majority for statehood. So I'm thinking this is going to happen in the next 3 to 5 years. So come on, check out Puerto Rico. It is beautiful here. Yeah, it's summertime. We're in the Caribbean. It's a little hot, but there's always a breeze. And if there's not a breeze, you can go swimming and the water is always 80 degrees because we are on the Atlantic Ocean. So come check it out. Pack your bags, go cruising. Cheers from Sail to Utopia. I hope you enjoy our video, and I hope you will give us a shout out and come see this. Please subscribe to our channel. We have lots of other exciting things, and if you want to do a YouTube channel, I'll tell you all the things I know to get you started. So, cheers, Sailtopia, Terry and Jay, and Jack. Bye.